Anyhow, understand from this incident, you don't need to develop root pattern even if you are put in the survival thing. The incidents does not need to put you into the crisis mode. Outer situation does not need necessarily to develop a root pattern in you. You developed it. Now let us complete. But your kids don't need to develop. It's not compulsory. How many of you understood this root pattern only is continuously repeating in your life and root of all sufferings? Constant powerlessness. Go ahead. Let me listen to your root pattern.
Thank you. So I remembered when I was in the womb, and the first inner image, because my parents weren't married before I was born, so I was in what the first inner image I recalled was unwanted, a mistake, problematic, inconvenience, insecure, unlovable. Basically, the way I felt in the womb was very suicidal. Like, it was a very hostile place, and it almost felt like I didn't know what I did.
Did your mother wanted to abort you?
She wanted to have me. My dad didn't want.
Oh,
my dad didn't want my mom to
I
keep
understand.
me.
I understand.
So
it is like when you have been conceived, there was a drift, there was a conflict between both of them. So, okay, I understand.
So
Actually, that pressure, when your dad put pressure on your mom, that pressure of your mother, the stress, becomes the biomemory in you. That is what you are remembering now.
yeah, and I remember it's almost like my outer image was like I wanted to prove something, and I wanted to show how perfect I am, even though my inner image felt insufficient, not perfect,
Not wanted.
yeah, not wanted. And then my other
Not enough unto others to love.
yeah, like not lack of attention also. Others image was that I was almost being like selfish, undesirable, and inconvenience. And then my life image was unkind, the world is unjust, very dark, cruel. I hated my parents, irresponsible, the world is pain, life sucks, not worth living, painful, murder, hostile. It was, but then it also made me feel like I had committed murder to myself. So then I don't know if that's like from a past.
I understand. No. It is not from past, it is from this birth only. From your mother's biomemory. This can be completed. Don't worry. You found it properly. Come on.
Swamiji, the root incident that I found is the very first day I joined the school. When I joined the school, I remember one teacher was standing in front of all the students. This happened at the age of 3. She was controlling all the students, like fold your hands, fingers on the lip, pin drop silence, something like that. And I didn't like that. Everybody was obeying or something kind of that. Then I went, I was in the first row, I believe. I bet her on her knee. She looked at me. I still remember her face. It was kind of, her face is slightly big, and she has a big mole in her cheek. It was kind of frightening. The second day, I don't want to go to school. I was very scared. I told my parents that I don't want to go to school.
Tell me exactly what is the inner image you built in this at that time.
Inner image is fear. Next day I don't want to go to school.
I am frightened.
I'm frightened. And in spite of that, my dad,
What's the life image?
life image is
Life is cruel. About the teacher. About the situation.
yeah.
Life is difficult. Cruel.
Next day, the caretaker took me up, even though I was screaming and I don't want to come. But she took me into the school and I was screaming. So I feel like the outer image, the life image is it snatches me.
It forces you. That's what. It forces you.
It snatches me
Okay.
the way it wants. The outer image I felt is like I'm helpless. I
Means it's not shouting, it is aggressive response. Outer image. Not surrendering. You understand? You see, shouting, now you call it as helpless. That time, that was the aggression you know. To show your resistance. That's the maximum aggression you can show. That's all. See, listen. So actually, all of us feel inside, I am weak, powerless. But outside we show, do you know how powerful I am? Perfect. And about others we feel, you are a cheat, you are here to exploit me and manipulate me. But when we speak, oh, you are such a nice person, you are so great, please come. How many of you understand this same hypocrisy with which we are playing? A simple game. Listen, how many of you are ready to be with your images authentically? Raise your hand. As it is. I tell you, just be with your image as it is for just 1 hour. You will see it will dry out and die. It will lose its power over you. This inner image, because you are hiding it constantly, it is flourishing. The moment you expose it, it will just die. When the wound is kept inside, so much pus pain will develop. If you just expose it, it will dry and fall off. Shall we open the exact wounds and images as it is? How many of you are ready? Because it will completely heal you. A simple exercise. Nothing. Go around and just introduce yourself as you felt about you. It is like a, hi, for myself I am a failure, loser, incapable idiot. But for you, I am strong, successful, hardworking. But for me, you are a nasty cheat and cheap fraudster. Whatever you felt about the life. No, that is what you are having about the other person. Don't do any of this big introduction. I'm an engineer from US. I'm a lawyer from Paris. No. Exactly how you are carrying you, life and outer image, share. Just for 1 hour. And see what happens. You have to develop. Come on. That is what is the courage. To be authentic. Listen, one more thing. You kept it closed all these years. Were you able to do something? Let's open it. Listen, one more thing. Very important thing you need to know. Before this introduction or after this introduction, don't try to come back to any so-called your socially polite conversation. Where is this saree you bought? Oh, so nice. This jewelry, which shop you bought? No, nice. Oh, I am a Microsoft from Seattle. I am AT&T from New Jersey. No. Be very clear what you are for you. Victim, powerless. But how you show yourself to others? I am the winner. I challenge. I'll do anything. Withdrawal is also very powerful shutting down. Ma. See, withdrawal is also nothing but you show your power, non-participation. Inside I am frightened, but outside I will not show. I will show collective, calm, non-participating. But about the other person, about life, hey, you are a nasty cheat, fraudster waiting here to cheat me. That's what you feel inside. What you feel about the life, that's what you feel about others. I tell you. See, withdrawal is nothing but you can't make me do anything. Understand? Even now, when you have a fight with your spouse, you will be doing exactly that. Am I right? That's all. No, this pattern repeats. Your whole life is nothing but the repetition of these root patterns. Root pattern. If it is repeated 100 times, you call it you are 10-year-old. If it is repeated 1,000 times, you call yourself as 20-year-old. If it is repeated 2,000 times, you call yourself as 97-year-old. That's all. I'm giving an example. How many of you are ready to go around and introduce yourself authentically? Ready to play the game? So you will start with the opposite gender first. Because that is where you always try to hold yourself. That is where you always try to protect you, defend you, have multiple layers. See, multiple layer clothing, tradition is nothing but multiple layer protection. Understand? You always have the multiple layer just to know that, so that nobody should smell you. Nobody should know you. You can go on be stinking in the same way. But when you know everyone knows, simply you need to wake up. I tell you, this will be one of the most powerful process. So I don't want to waste the time now. Understand? When you introduce yourself, not just word, you have to show exact emotion. You cannot say, laughing, I am a failure and loser, an incapable idiot. No. You have to show exact emotion, the pain. And same way when you criticize the other person, you cannot laughing and say, hi, you are a nasty cheat and cheap fraudster. No. You have to really show that anger you have about life. Clear? Live, relive, relive, relive your root pattern. With every person you introduce yourself, relive your root pattern. Ready? I don't want to, no, you don't, no names, no need for your names. This much introduction is enough. No need for your name, place and all that. This much introduction is enough. I don't want to answer any of your doubts, questions. Now, start the process. You have to introduce yourself to every other person in the hall. Except me. Start. Because I know you already. Please move to the... And even if the other person doesn't know your language, it's okay. You can talk in your language. Other person does not need to understand. Start.